guys, it's Tom Sabo. I'm the Director of Marketing for Dana Safety Supply. Sitting here with a very long-time friend of mine, Doug White. Doug and I have known each other for 25 years. We met as a part of what I do, supporting law enforcement, and he was a brand new deputy. Doug has retired, and he is embarking on a new career, not a career, more of a mission. Talking about something that we all need to be talking about, and that is mental health. More specifically, mental health as it relates to public safety, military, people that are out there serving us, helping us, and acquiring scars along the way. I'm very proud of what Doug is doing, and I just want to introduce him and let him kind of tell us how you been.
Oh, I've been fantastic. I highly recommend retirement. Not because you don't have to go to work anymore, but because it's offered me an opportunity to be still, to enjoy the quiet and gain perspective on who I was, who I am truly, and who I'm going to be. It's been quite the journey. So my entire career, I mean, it spanned 30 years between my military time and sheriff's office time, and trying to remember or to find out who I am without those personas has been quite the journey.
You've written a book. You have been on numerous podcasts and speaking engagements and talking about the importance of vulnerability. I think that law enforcement has become better focusing on mental health. The stigma of mental health still does exist. It's kind of like at times almost feeding yourselves to the wolves.
Yeah, it is. It is. It can be, and it all depends on the culture of the organization you're in, and I think which one of the responder disciplines you're in. I mean, I can only speak to the law enforcement side, but I have seen people that have become vocal about their mental fitness and their journeys, and some were treated very well, and some were treated poorly. I mean, it's a crapshoot, and it's not something that I think a lot of responders are willing to put their careers on the line for. I think more than anything else, those are great words and things that we should remind ourselves we're searching for, but I think it's honesty. First, having the conversations with ourselves and telling us the things that we don't want to hear. We have to look inward before we can start doing the work. And then once we realize that we have to talk to somebody. I mean, it has to get out. It starts with leadership as far as I'm concerned. Those conversations start at the top, and it's a top down, bottom up. Everybody has to be talking about this. And yes, our conversations have gotten more deeper, and it's freeing. Yeah, really, to be able to have a friendship with someone, or just to be able to be open enough to have those types of conversations. They lead to greater things. Growth being the biggest, and for me, owning my story and putting it out there has led to new purpose after retirement. You know, I mentioned this the other day when I was speaking to my wife that, everybody, when they go into their oral boards for their pre-hire, why do you want to be a cop? Why do you want to be a firefighter? Why do you want to do these things? And everybody gives the same answer. Well, I want to help people. The people on the other side of the table are like, yo, whatever, man. You don't know what this means. You have no scope for what this is, but you truly believe it's because you want to help people. And I believe that. I just didn't realize it would be 31 years since I gave that answer before I really start helping somebody. There's a lot of people having these conversations, but more need to have it.
Today's October 19th. We're sitting in a parking lot. Why are we sitting in a parking lot at night, Doug?
Well, the significance of being in a parking lot and in a car on October 19th, it's representative of my break, the day that I found my way forward. On October 19th, 2019, I was sitting by myself in a vacant parking lot looking for the answers, and I came to a point where I had to make a decision.
And so you had been having problems for some time. You had built yourself a facade that, in my mind, was almost untouchable. I mean, you were Superman. You know, there was never an event that I called you that you weren't in full control. It's hard to talk about. It's hard to hear as a friend, as a brother, but it's important to be as vulnerable as we can, because you don't have to be 25-year friends to help someone. Making these things, giving these things oxygen allows for people who may not have those 25-year friendships to lean on. And even though we did, I didn't know where you were.
Nobody did, Tom.
Nobody did.
No one. My wife, who has been my best friend, and we've been married 24 and a half years now. And she has been by my side 10 of my 14 and a half military years and all 25 years of my law enforcement years. I think the point I want to make there, and if somebody reads a book or hears a podcast I'm on, what they'll see is that we're not alone. There is someone there. The people who love us most are actively looking for opportunities to help us. We need to give them the opportunities. They've earned it. They deal with the remains of the day that we wear, just like we wear our gun belts and turnout gear and everything else. They know what we're going through, even though we're not speaking about it. They want to be a part of our lives. They want to help us, and we should be brave enough to give them the opportunities. Even if we're not talking to each other about this, we need to talk about it with someone. It saved my life.
And it's shocking and saddening when you look at the suicide rates in the first responder community. Men and women are giving everything to us, literally, and asking for very little in return, and getting spit at and cursed at, and until they're needed,
Mm-hmm.
And then they're taking it home and taking it out on themselves. It's something that it's very important for us to be aware of and work through. You get back off of that call or that traffic accident that you see a family destroyed, or part of a family destroyed. You see the suicides, you see the murders, you see the worst
You
of
have
society.
a front row seat to the worst that the world has to offer. And not everything's bad. You have opportunities to help people as well, but you have that front row seat 3, 4, 5 times a shift, day in and day out for 10, 20, 30 years. When you say it's okay not to be okay, you're not supposed to be okay. We are being exposed to things that human beings are not supposed to be exposed to. And any reactions that we have, whether it's depression, whether it is chronic pain, sleeplessness, night terrors, nightmares, anxiety, full-on PTS, these are normal human reactions to abnormal stimulus. If you did not have a problem, that would cause me more concern for you. It's like having a broken leg. Hey, look, my leg's broken. Sign my cast. Everybody owns that. Why aren't we owning our mental fitness? Why aren't we taking care of ourselves? Why are we not speaking about this and front-loading these kids in the academies? There's so many things that could be done. And to the credit of the professions and the disciplines, a lot is being done in most places. But more can be done. More people need to be having this conversation. And that's why I've written the book, just as part of my own journey. I found purpose in this growth. This is winning, man. Sitting here with one of my longest friends who has kept me in body armor and holsters and good cheer and hugs that straighten my spine for 25 years, man. This is what this is about, supporting one another. The mentorship, the friendship. Once you start to heal and once you own your journey and you put it out there, man, the world is just, food tastes better. Flowers smell better. I mean, life is better. We don't have to live the way that we've been living. And I was the freaking boss of hiding. No one had any idea.
I think the discussion is so important because, like we said, it could be a new recruit. It could be a guy that's been on 5 years, or a girl that's been a woman that's been on for 5 years and has a bad day, has a bad call, has a cumulative effect of bad calls and bad days. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, it's okay for that person to talk about it. The more we get this out here. And you mentioned something that I found particularly interesting in one of our conversations, that you believe that the military community is 8 to 10 years ahead of law enforcement.
Conservatively, I would say so. As far as normalizing this, treating this, and owning this. I mean, they're actively doing things for TBI, for CTE, hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I mean, they're doing so many things leading the charge in this space. And it's good to see. Because I think the first responder community will also pick up on that. And one thing I would like to mention, I think as the generations go and us old timers leave, the suck it up and drive on folks, I think the younger generations that are coming into the first responder fields now are so emotionally intelligent and so in tune with who they are. Persona be damned. They own their stuff. And I think that these young kids, and again, I call them kids, these folks that are at the beginning of their careers, they're so secure in who they are. I think that they're going to be carrying this, and they're going to lead the charge on this. I truly believe it, and it's exciting to watch that happen.
Absolutely. Well, the book is Hiding in Plain Sight. I'm going to put a link to the book on the post that we post for this video. I want to thank you for being the hero to me that I've known forever. And I don't take that word lightly. I know that you don't like it, but at the end of the day, we do what we do in my job, and I feel very passionate about it. I'm very glad to work for a company that owns that passion. Is we believe that these are you and the people that work in your profession are everyday heroes. You go home every day. You go to work every day. So I want to thank you for everything that you've done for all of us in your career, whether it be military or law enforcement. I just want to tell you that your next mission can save lives. If you need help, ask for it. The more people do, the better off we all will be. So thank you very much for everything, Doug. And
I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
And if you'd like to get a hold of Doug, feel free to get with me, and I can get you to Doug.
DougWhiteOfficial.com.
There you go. Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.